Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the one only Psychosin project here on YouTube. Another edition of the incoming show as well, because today I'm going to be reviewing the upcoming album by Torche, I think it's pronounced Torche, called Restarter, that is out on the 23rd of February through Relapse Records. So let's dive into this and find out if it's worth your money. But first of all, some of you may be watching this wondering who the hell are Torche? Well, let me tell you. Torche is an American band from Miami in Florida. Their sound is often described as stoner metal or sludge metal. They formed in 2004 and have released 3 full-length studio albums to date, called Torche, Neanderthal and Harmonicraft. Restarter is their 4th studio album, being released on the 23rd of February through Relapse Records. The band itself currently consists of Steve Brooks on guitar and lead vocals, Joffin Nunez on bass, Rick Smith on drums, and Andrew Elstner on guitar and vocals. The first track on the album is called Annihilation Affair. Now this starts with a superb heavy bass sound, drums and guitar, bringing it to mind early Mastodon before the vocals come in again, bring it sounding very early Mastodon style. There's a nice driving riff that will get your head nodding along, the riff lumbering along like a mammoth. We break down to just drums and guitar feedback at the middle 8. The guitar's making more and more feedback, feeding up as the intensity, building up the intensity of the song until the drums start to fade out and the song becomes nothing but intense white noise of feedback until the song's end. Up next is Bishop in Arms. Now this starts with a vocal harmony, then a drum roll into a superb driving riff. I have no idea why I just did that then, as if I was doing the drum roll myself. Anyway, this has this much more high-speed style song, with a slight hint of Motorhead to the sound of the song and the riffs. Definitely a more punky edge to the song overall. A song speeds along for about 2 minutes before it reaches its close. The third song is called Minions. Now this starts with a huge lumbering riff and slow, almost doom style speed drum beat. God, that's a mouthful. The vocalists sound a bit like the lead vocalist of Scottish band Biffy Clyro on this song. In fact, throughout the entire album. At the middle 8 we get a nice slow guitar solo to go along with the slow riff throughout the entire song. The fantastic, huge, lumbering riff, in fact. We then reach the end of the song with a 2-note guitar solo being played over and over while the chorus is sung and the riff continues in the background. Up next is Loose Men. Now this starts at very high speed, almost Foo Fighters style riff and pace. Imagine Monkey Wrench being covered by Mastodon, basically. At the midpoint we get another superb guitar solo, and then we end the song with another recital of the excellent chorus. This should definitely be a single. Not very long review for this song because it is only about 2.5 minutes long. Blasted starts with a great high-speed riff, then the vocalist joins in with, as always, excellent sounding vocals. There's a huge sounding chorus that comes in at a halfway point. This could well get stuck in your head after hearing it a few times. A driving riff ends the song with a discordant guitar solo in the background to add to the overall texture and heaviness of the song. Up next is No Servants. Now this starts with a slow, doomy style bass riff and drums while the guitars ring out from the ending of the previous song. The vocals come in with the guitar still feedbacking from the end of the previous song. After a minute of ringing feedback, the guitar kicks in with a heavy as hell riff which joins the bass and drums. The song goes forward at a slow, doomy pace, almost calling it to remind classic Black Sabbath, until it reaches the end with a giant riff and crashing drums. Then suddenly we end. Next is Believe It. Now this starts with the entire band playing along to again another massive riff, something the band excels at writing. A drum roll breaks down to nothing, then back to the massive riff with one guitar play a different riff in the background to add to the overall feeling of the song. Song drives along again at a slow, sludgy pace until we fade out at the end. The penultimate song on the album is called Barrier Hammer. Now this starts with a drum roll, then it's a slow, sludgy slow pace, as the last song. Again, another mouthful for me to say there. Again, with a nice Sabbathy sounding riff. A nice bass break then takes us into a different riff to help vary things up on this song. Then there's a scream from the vocalist which takes us back to the main extremely heavy riff of this song. Discordant bass and drums in the middle with occasional splashes of guitar help break up that riff and vary the song up. A guitar solo then comes in over the top of the sludgy riff, along with the vocalist singing the chorus to the song. This ends with drums and guitar getting slower and slower and then fading out with a single guitar note ringing out over the top. At almost 9 minutes long, the last song on the album is the longest song. Now this starts with a high speed riff and pounding drums. Distorted vocals come in just under the main riff and drums, giving an ethereal sound to this song. We then go back to just the driving riff for about a minute along with the drums, and then the vocals rejoin the song. As the song continues, we keep swapping between long stretches of just the band playing, the main riff, and then small sections of vocals. At around 3 minutes we get the second guitar playing the riff but at a slightly higher note to give a different texture to the song. Second guitar starts playing one singular note over and over, faster and faster, creating an almost drone-like sound and feel to the song, taking the song into an almost psychedelic feeling as the drums and main guitar fade out in the background. The second guitar completely fades out and we're left with just this one solitary note being played over and over, with the drums playing the same beat as it has done throughout the entire song. The drums stop pounding and we're left with the sound of the second guitar creating ethereal sounds. This continues until the end, where the song just fades out, taking us to the end of the album. So, what do I think? I mean, I will admit this is the first time I've heard the band Torche. I mean, I've heard of them before, but I've never got around to hearing any of their full albums or anything. All in all, I liked it. I know I seem to say that about every album I review on here, but honestly, there's been some really good stuff coming out this year, along with demos from unsigned bands and all that. And honestly, this is one that I feel I will like more and more as I listen to it more and more. It's definitely going to have a few tracks on there that need to grow on you, but all in all, fantastic sound, especially if you like the sort of swampy, sludgy sounds of early Mastodon, or even if you like stuff like Biffy Clyro, because some of the riffs on this song are really goddamn catchy. So, as I said earlier, really think of Mastodon covering Biffy Clyro and Foo Fighters, and you're quite close to the sound of this band. Obviously, they bring their own sound in as well, which creates something unique, but that's the best way I can describe it. Anyway, Torche and their Restarter album is out on the 23rd of February through Relapse Records. I recommend it. Definitely go check it out. I have been Psychosin. I'll be back soon with another album review, or it might well be a demo review for your viewing pleasure to see me completely fuck up the English language again. Anyway, I've been Psychosin. This has been the Psychosin Project, with the show Incoming, your #1 guide on YouTube for upcoming album reviews, well, in the metal and rock genre anyway. So hopefully I will see you next time with another review. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.